Hello, hola, bonjour, hey, hey, y'all. My name is Merc. Welcome back to the Narc Alert. Happy hump day. Hey, you know what? You know what day it is? It's hump day. Look who's here. You know why he's here? Because it's hump day and he thinks he's getting fed early, which of course he will. Hey, everybody, how you all doing? Ella says they're not half sleep modding. Well, Ella's, you've been going to bed at a normal time, so, you know, it makes sense you might be a little sleepy. Vanessa Atalanta is on vacation? Did you go somewhere, Vanessa? Can we live vicariously through you? Are you somewhere having fun? Or is it a staycation, which is fun too? Mr. Man, would you like to say hello? Yes, he said hello. Alyssa's at work. Ah, but you've got your own office? That's awesome. It's cool having your own office. Everybody, Alyssa's fancy. They have their own office. Staycation for a week. Nice. Hey, Druidus, welcome back, I guess. Yes, I know. We have to do the mukbang, right? Right away. We have to do the mukbang right away. So let's put him up here like this and let's get that damn cat fed. Let's go. There you go. Come here. Come here. Oh, let's move this a little bit here like this. All right. There we go. Our Wednesday Rio Muckbang. Look at him eat like he's starving. He's never actually tasted food before. He's been actually just surviving on pure oxygen until now, apparently. Skier Doc says, if I really cared about you, I would have had the YouTubes fix the notifications. Hey, I don't even get notifications. If you want to, you know, if you want to be part of the Narc Alert channel family, you just have to be on the friggin' ball. Because they try to bury us, but you know, the coolest, smartest, funniest, and best looking people all know where this channel is. So just remember, Wednesday at 4:20, Saturday at 6. Everything else is kind of whenever I get to it. I'm sorry, my nose is bothering me because I still have that scratch in my nose from Rio. Listen, we have a lot to cover today, so I don't want to be friggin' around. Kai says you got to join the Discord. Listen, can I make it a little easier for you to join the Discord? Let's make it easier for 5 of you to join the Discord right now, like that. So there you go. I am itchy-nosed. I'm very sorry. Okay, well, let's get to it. First, I want to say Polly was first. And Polly, thank you for your super chat. I saw that your finger slipped, and I appreciate all the finger slippages. Fluffy was second, and Vanessa Atalanta was actually third. Nerd Zombie Goddess, I don't know why you're not already in the Discord. Polly, 11 months. Thank you for your member chat. And Heather, thank you for your super chat. Heather says Lacey is home and is snuggly as ever. Oh, Lacey's the new baby's name. If you guys recall, Heather adopted a new furry face, and her name now is Lacey. That's cute. All right. Baby kitten. And thank you, Polly. Almost a whole year. Time flies when you're having fun. Can you join the Discord if you aren't members? Sadly, no. That's part of what paying for a membership gets you. So I try to keep it pretty cheap. But sadly, yeah, you got to be a member of the channel. Maybe $2.99. I try not to charge too much, but it is a perk of membership. You know, it's how we do on YouTube. Before we get into all the new stuff, I want to first issue an official. Listen, I have to do an official apology here. Okay, I have to do an official YouTuber apology. Okay. I would like to say I'm really sorry. I was out of line and I misspoke, and I'll never do it again. And I'm really sorry that I thought that Technic was Amber mispronouncing a word and not actually a brand of Lego. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize for misnaming the Lego. Apparently this was a big deal in the comment section. I heard a lot about that. And I also heard a lot about eggs. A lot of people were saying that for them, cooking eggs differently certainly makes it easier for them to digest eggs. And I am not going to dismiss anybody's experience. If that's your experience with eggs, then that is absolutely what's going on. Now, I did a lot of research because, I have studied food science, and then I did a lot of kind of extra research in the last couple of days about eggs because it was bugging me. And all I can find definitively is that a very well-cooked egg is a lot easier to digest than not as well cooked an egg. Now, whether that egg is fried or scrambled is irrelevant. It's the amount of time it's been cooked. So I guess we're both right. So I want to apologize if I offended anybody. I didn't mean to, and your experience is completely valid if you have that particular experience with eggs. But it does denature the protein bonds when you cook it further. So I apologize, and I've been educated. But scrambled and fried doesn't really make a difference. It's the length of time that it's been cooked. So Heather, my neighbor has ukuleles, 2 of them, and I borrowed one I already did one of those ukulele apologies back when that was a thing. So yeah, so that's the egg thing. And yeah, Baby Vamp says, that's why I don't understand why Amber would go for a runny yolk knowing that she has this issue. Well, when we go back to the fact that I don't think Amber knows how to cook an egg. She just cooks it till she thinks it's done. So sometimes she ends up with a runny yolk. But I missed Kai's member chat. Thank you, Ella. Kai says, this is the longest thing I've stuck with. 16 months a member. Kai, I'm honored and flattered that this is the longest thing that you've stuck with, and we're very happy you have. Vox, thank you for gifting 5 members. You guys are very generous and chatty today. Thank you so much. Villainous Vox. You have to yell to get Rick's attention. Yeah, I talk a lot. Sorry. I live alone. I don't get out much. I get out enough. It's okay. Okay, that's all the notes I have for stuff that I wanted to talk about. Ella gets paid the big bucks to yell at me to make sure I don't miss things. All right. So as you saw in my thumbnail, what I want to talk about today is there's been a whole bunch of stuff in the last 3 days that has come up. And those things being, first of all, the Dakota situation, which now seems like old news because so much more has happened already, but we haven't talked about it. So we'll talk about it. The Dakota situation. And then after the Dakota situation, there was an Erica post. Erica made a big post on a video spilling a whole bunch of tea about Amber. We'll discuss that and if that's real or not. Let's talk about it. Then we have a recap of the members only live stream from last night, which, as usual, we all met at the Discord. We piled in the carpools. We went over to Lainey's living room and sat down and watched that video. I'm just going to call it the live video. So I got a nice healthy recap on that for you. And then if we have time and we're interested, she uploaded a weigh-in Wednesday today. So we have a whole bunch of stuff. Heather, what the hell do you want? Heather, what do you want? We're not watching Skeleton Key tonight. Yes, we know you have a cat, Heather, and her name is Lacey, and she's ever so cute. Kai drove us one of the cars to Laney's last night. It was good. Kai doesn't drive that often, so it was fun to let Kai do the driving for once. It was fun. Kai didn't hit a damn thing. We made it home safe and sound. Thank you, Kai. All right, let's start this mess. Listen, guys, I even ate before the live stream just so I wouldn't get hungry and lose speed halfway through because we got so damn much. So, yeah, also, Cinnamon Toast Ken uploaded a AMBERLYNN REID reaction to her cooking today. Of course, he doesn't need me to shout him out, but it's fun to watch, so if you want to go see that. Jan on the Lamb says, I can't remember who Dakota is. Can you refresh? Well, that's what we're going to get to absolutely right now. Thank you for giving me the perfect segue, Jan. Dakota. For those of you who don't remember, Dakota was Beck's new partner. I don't know if Dakota was a fiance or not. I've heard the term fiance. I don't know for sure personally. I'm just going to call them partner. That seems to be the safest term to use. Now, Dakota has been around for a little while, making Beck feel great. The funny thing, though, that many people were a little suspect about from the get, from day dot, was that Dakota is a proud long-term member of Hater Nation. Dakota has been hating on AMBERLYNN REID for a long time. She's been active in Reddit. She's made a lot of posts. She said a lot of things. There was even a live stream of Amber's where Dakota's partner made a super chat asking Amber to propose to Dakota for her on the live stream, and then Dakota super chatted to say yes. Now, I don't know what happened in that relationship, but that was on Amber's live stream. So Dakota's been firmly entrenched in the Amberverse for a while, and then they got hooked up with Beck. And, you know, one of the things that Amber said in one of her live streams, which now probably might be true, we don't know, again, this is all hearsay, but when Amber was dissing Dakota before all this news broke about Dakota, one of the things that Amber said about Dakota is that, you know, it was creepy because Dakota's in the Amberverse and hunting down Beck. And apparently they met on a dating website. But Amber said, wasn't it creepy that you changed the city you lived in so you could show up in Beck's results? Like, it sounds kind of predatory, but people glossed over it then because it was Amber. And of course, everything Amber says is wrong, right? Maybe not. So that was, anyway. So now we fast forward to, let's say, to the, there was that really sad podcast thing that Beck went on. And a lot of times when they were giving answers, we could hear in the background Dakota, the partner, yapping and there was even one instance where Beck was speaking and Beck said something about, oh yeah, I don't remember that. And Dakota piped right up and said, oh no, you do remember when she did this and she did that. And she's like, Dakota was filling in details for Beck. It was really uncomfortably weird in that weird podcast thing. But, you know, people hate Amber so much that they're going to love, this. There's a lot of people that have been accused of dick riding Beck lately. I don't think we have. I think that the way Beck has dealt with their narcissist, has been exceptional. I think the way Beck has been taking responsibility for the things they've done in their past has been really upstanding. Do I think Beck is a perfect person and deserves to be canonized? No. They made fucking mistakes too. Nobody's without any fault here, right? But what I'm going to say here is I don't blame Beck for Dakota. I blame Beck for having bad taste in partners. I blame Beck for not vetting somebody that they met online that was part of the Amberverse. I think that Beck should be smart enough to know that they should be more careful at this point. There's where I give Beck responsibility for Dakota, and for me, that's where Beck's responsibility for Dakota ends. Now, let's get on. It's one thing to, Madam Fluffy says, it's one thing to support Beck in standing up against Amber, not the same as dick riding. Absolutely, it's not. There's different, again, nuance is lost a lot in this community. Yeah, Beck apparently does have a type, Coco. I think Beck has got to be a little more careful and step back and vet their new partners better. That's what I'm going to say about Beck. I don't think Beck is inherently evil. I think Beck is a fallible human being. That's all. I think they have a genuinely kind heart, to be honest. And I think what they did today was outstanding, and we're going to get to that after the Dakota thing. So, I'm so fancy now with my amber buds. I have my amber buds ready. I think the best way to approach this, a channel called Kate Winslet did a little recap here and called their videos entitled "Becky's Girlfriend is a Sicko." Now, I say Becky because that's what they've titled it. They seem to be refusing to use Beck's name as Beck. Now, a whole chunk of this video in the beginning is kind of poo-pooing on some reaction channels for canonizing Beck and not saying anything about Dakota. I'm not going to cover that. I don't care about that. I'm not into that gossip. You know, we cut each other's throats enough. I don't need to do that. I just want to talk about the Dakota situation. So I don't care what they have to say about the other reaction channels. Let's just look at this. So what I'm going to do is put this up on the screen, and I'm going to let this play. And this is a pretty good overview of the Dakota situation, because it's a lot of different shit. So I don't think it's... Let's just let it go. I have to mute it. I think the music is copywritten, I think. Let's see. Like oh, yeah. Copywritten music. Oh, yeah. And a big up, of course, to on Kiwi Farms, a user named Haterade. And I think a couple of weeks ago, we used a chunk of their recap of a live stream, and we gave them props and shout out. Haterade is doing the work for the whole goddamn community at this point. So Kate Winslet compiled all of Haterade's research. Thank you, Penelope. So this is what's called a cuddle application. So apparently 20-year-old Dakota was sending out these cuddle applications to 13 and 14, 15, 16-year-old people on the Reddits or on the Tumblrs. So this one you can see this person says they're 14 years old. Gender fluid, and then, you know, typical facts about yourself, movies that you like, stuff like that. So Dakota was sending these out. Also asking for pictures, which have been pixelated. Here's another cuddle application. Now, apparently on Tumblr, this was a trend at the time, the cuddle application thing, but Dakota was 20, and these people are 14. Now, if you guys have been following my channel, you know that I tend to be a little more liberal-minded about the age differences than much of this community. But 20 and 14 is not something I'm comfortable with. That's just not, that's not right. You know, 27 and 24, yeah, but not this. Look at the writing. It's like children's, their favorite movie, Scott Pilgrim. Good Lord. So this is, here's another 14-year-old. Here's another one that says 15-year-old. Like, there's a lot of these. There's a lot of these. 14-year-old and with pictures. So, again, this isn't my video. This is Kate Winslet says, before haters start reeling, I assume it's reeling, it's just an innocent cuddle application. It's not like she's being a sicko. I'm sure that's deeply sarcastic. Richard, thank you for your 20-month super chat. Scott Pilgrim is a great movie. I think it is, but it's a younger movie, right? Here's another one. If you thought she was being too innocent, in case you can't read it, this says, send me a kink and I'll reply with a smiley face or a frowny face. So she's asking 14-year-olds, it's reeing? Jasmine, please explain. I'm old. I fucked up again. Now I'm going to get in trouble for that. It's an internet term called reeing. Okay, now I got to look that up. Re means to sift. Oh my goodness, it's an actual word. It's not just stupid internet slang. I learned something again. I'm learning so much today. It says here, re means to sift grain, peas, or beans, and reeing is the present participle of that verb, meaning the act of sifting. Okay. Thank you, Jasmine. Reeing. Thank you. We learned a new word today. I love that. I really hope the same reactors that were all sucking on Becky's chins called it. So, like I said, this channel is calling out a bunch of reaction channels. I'm not going to show that. Except for maybe the ankle. That's one tough to look at broad, I tell you. Okay, Kate. That was well deserved. That one I'll let you let go. So that's the Kate. That's the Dakota situation. So I think there was some other stuff. Like there's just more of that sort of stuff that came out. And then Beck's response quickly, within 12 hours, was to put up a post and say that they had broken up. That she couldn't get down, that they couldn't get down with this behavior, and they had broken up. Now, there is, of course, as usual, a section of the community that thinks they have not broken up. Probably the same people that think that Amber and Emily are still together. They're not. Now, yeah, there is also a lot of drama around this drama. We've got drama on drama here, okay? Because, how do I say? Now, help me tread carefully here because I don't want to get in trouble. I'm just trying to report on the drama. So, one reaction channel called The Ankle, and some of you might be familiar with, has been taking quite a bit of heat lately for being pretty misogynistic. They've said some pretty crass and tasteless things. I'm not comfortable with men commenting on women's bodies and women's body functions in a way that is demeaning and diminishing and calling us gross and smelling and that kind of stuff. I find pretty juvenile and crass. The Ankle has been... The Ankle says a lot of stuff like that. Now, one of the things that The Ankle has been doing is really, really riding hard for Beck and Dakota, apparently, right? The Ankle's made a lot of comments. I've seen a lot of things. I don't watch The Ankle, but I have seen a lot of comments where he's upset a lot of the community with things that he's said. I'm not going to get too much into that. You guys can look at that and make your own decisions on that. I'm just saying what's going on. So a lot of the community was waiting. As soon as that happened, The Ankle put up a post and said, I can't respond to this because I find it too triggering for myself. And then the community jumped down his throat because they said, you didn't find it too triggering to make thousands of dollars after calling AMBERLYNN a pedophile for the last year. And now is this too triggering to react to? So they're in a bit of trouble with how they've been handling this situation, as are some other channels. Because I guess a lot of channels were riding really hard for Dakota in the last couple of weeks. And now they've kind of got mud on their face. And I guess it's hard to just stand up and say, holy shit, you guys, I was wrong. I apologize. Like, I don't know. It's not hard to do that. But I guess there's some people having a hard time with that. I'm not judging, but, I know that a lot of people were waiting to hear Karina Kaboom's response to all of this, because apparently Karina, I have read, again, it's hearsay, and I don't know. Apparently Karina was like on the phone with Dakota and talking about how wonderful they were, and people are just avoiding talking about this. I do have to say, in this community, if you're going to call AMBERLYNN Reid a pedophile, then you have to approach this with the same gravitas. You just do. You just do. Now, whether you want to believe Amber is that or not is up to you. But I just think that if you're going to think anything like that with her, then you have to apply the same to anybody else in this universe. So I applaud Beck. Oh, Ella says, please use Urban Dictionary. Yeah, but that worked. Sorry, Ella, did you just send it to me? On reeing. We're getting corrected on the reeing. Thank you, Ella. It's not the same? Oh, the sound you make when a normie is in sight. Normies get out ree. Yeah, I'm too old for this. A loud exclamation made by the users of 4chan to express anger towards normies. It is normally accompanied by "Get off my board. You goddamn fucking normies. Get off my board." I'm like just way too fucking old for that. Yeah, some of it I get down with. That one just doesn't make sense. I guess you have to be there. Maybe you had to be there. You had to be part of reing when it was, when they were reing, and then you'd be down with reing. But okay, I know that's Baby Vamp says, Merc. It's more of a high pitched scream. I know, that's why I said you'd have to be there and be part of it in the moment to get it. It doesn't translate well when it's written like that. I'm sure I got hair all over my nose. I don't know where the cat went. He's gone. So that's the Dakota situation in a nutshell. And like I said, I think that Beck chose the best recourse they could do in ending the relationship. Now, I don't know who ended it. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care. But is it? Yeah, Madam Fluffy is. Do you think it's like that pig sound? Like, ree, ree, ree. That's what I think. Ree, 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 ree. All right. Well, we've been educated. Yeah, Mr. Snork says, just stop while you're ahead, Murky. I know, I'm done with Ree. And I'm done with Dakota. So that's the Dakota situation. Jasmine sent me an example in the Discord. I'll look at it later. I'm done with that. We got more stuff to cover. Okay, next. Next on the agenda is the Erica post. May I have a sip of coffee first? Okay, Erica. Hey, Alyssa. Hiding in the office. Alyssa, thank you for being a member for 21 months. Had to come back later, but have to come back later, but have a good day. Hey, have a good day, Alyssa. Keep that office door closed so they don't bug you too much. All right. Now, Erica. Who's the heck is Erica? Well, I barely remember who Erica is. I can't keep track of all these people, but we have to. Erica is Brittany's wife. Who the hell is Brittany? Brittany and Erica were the two last year. Valentine. Do you remember Valentine? Erica is a Valentine. This is the married lesbian couple who wanted to troll Amber, and then apparently, as the lore goes, again, I'm just reporting the news. Apparently, Erica fell in love with Amber, and it became not a troll, but a real life, long distance love affair. And then it went bad, and now we've got a lot of dirt and shit and mudslinging going on from every corner. These two are as nuts as Amber. Let's put that out there to begin with. Like, first of all, these two are nuts. They're still trying to cling on to their 15 minutes of clout fame. And last week, I guess Brittany, who wasn't the one that was like with Amber, but it's the wife, posted a picture of herself wearing the "Why Are You So Obsessed With Me" t-shirt that everybody thinks is so funny. By the way, I will not be going and spending $50 on that torrid shirt as a joke to Amber. But, knock yourself out. So she wore it and posted it. And Amber made some comment about, that got all, they got all nippy at each other. And then Erica posted a little post under a video. It's only $15. I'm still not spending $15. I'm in Canada. I probably have to pay $20 shipping for that thing. Okay, so here we go with this post. Oh my God, well, you can't read that at all. Well, make it bigger. Still can't really read it. Hang on, I'll read it. Let me find it, and then I'll read it. Where is it? It's on my desktop. Not there. Un momento, por favor. Erica posted this the other day. Now, this has been absolutely confirmed to be Erica, but what I have serious doubts with is the content of this post. The timing is all wrong. It doesn't even make a lot of sense, but I'm going to read it to you. It says, I think I'll say what I need to say. By the way, did you let Rarity loose because you claimed she scratched your leg and gave you cellulitis? Yet you refused doctor's orders for the skin cream. Are you not calling Steven your stepdad anymore because he keeps making inappropriate comments to you at bingo? Touching your leg and saying creepy things as you claimed? Or is he still staring down your shirt in front of your mother at bingo? Oh, how's Twinkie? Are you still demanding her to give her your paw before you feed her? Is she still pissing in the bathroom? How's your mom? Have you two had any fights because she won't choose you over the man she plans to marry? Are you still yelling at her in the car rides she gives you? I hope she gave you a ride to the dentist. I know that cracked half tooth is painful, considering the fact that you thought you don't need a regular cleaning or flossing, since just a brushing should do all of that you claimed. All of this over a sweatshirt. A sweatshirt of now multiple pictures of other people are wearing. You won't ever change. No one can ever love you simply because you dig your claws into every fiber and breath of the person that you've chosen to manipulate. So, yeah. Oh, Mr. Snork says, by the way, the sweater is $35 Canadian before shipping if anyone wants to get it from Merc so she can match it. No, don't. I don't have a post office box anymore. So, yeah, she says a lot of things there. There are many things that are said in this thing. Now, how much of it is true? I don't know. Like, do you really think that if Amber let that, first of all, I will never, ever believe that Amber let that cat out on purpose. I don't care what a bad pet owner she is. She loved that cat. I will die on that hill. If Amber let the cat out on purpose because the cat scratched her, why the hell would she tell Erica? They weren't even speaking at that point. It doesn't make any sense. And Twinkie holding up her paw? Well, maybe she's trying to teach her to shake a paw. People do that. I don't think Amber's making her do that every single time she feeds her. She free feeds her animals, right? She did with the cats. She probably does with Twinkie too. That doesn't make any sense. Most of it just doesn't make any sense to me. And no, Adam, you're right. She hasn't stopped calling him stepdad. I was talking about that because I said you met him as an adult. You should be calling him by his name, not stepdad. So yeah, you're right about that. So none of this makes any sense. But regardless, it's out there, and you know there's always going to be a section of people that as long as somebody's speaking against Amber, then that's the gospel truth. And you know what? It's not always. It's not always. She's not always lying, and they're not always honest. That's just the nature of human beasts, right? So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we have a poll mint? Let's do a little poll mint and see what you guys are thinking. Erica's post. %100% real. 50-50. Or load of crap. We'll be very eloquent today in our Pullman. Boom. We'll check that in a little bit. We'll give you a chance to take that. Take that all in. Ella says, I think it's partially true. She had some things that clearly got Amber riled and some fake. That's why I put 50-50 in as one of the options. Bit of both, Kai thinks. Sadly still here. God, your name speaks for all of us. Sadly still here says, I think it's more BS than truth. I kind of do too. All right, let me freshen my coffee, because now what we're going to cover next, 50-50 was too bold. Andy says, I can... Oh, Andy, I saw that you got a grown-up job now, so you had to work and stuff. I'm sorry, but I'm happy for you. Congratulations. All right. Now, on with the show. This is it. Now we're going to do a recap of the live stream from last night. Why is she simultaneously the most boring and most fascinating individual? I don't understand. I don't understand why we're still here, and I do understand, and it's just all very confusing. Let's take him off. He's not there anyway. I don't even know where he went. I don't even think he's under that blanket. I think he's in the bedroom. Lucy Pineapple says, I'm a little behind, but I don't think she let Rarity out. But I do think she lied about the timeline of when she got out. That sounds valid to me. I really don't think she let that cat out. I'm sorry. She wouldn't do... I just don't believe she would do that. But, you know, as usual in our community, we welcome differing opinions. We're allowed to not agree on things, and it's okay. Because we're all just speculating about some dumb girl's life anyway, so it's fine if we don't agree, right? Right? Uh-huh. All right. Look at how far back we have to go now. Hang on. Oh, I didn't take any screen caps today, so... If you really want, I can put up a picture of her that you can look at. Or I could just put up a picture of Rio. You could just look at Rio while we do the AMBERLYNN REID recap. Penelope says, I couldn't look away from last night's train wreck. Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it? I want a picture of Rio? Should I go see if I can find him? Let me just give me a second. Let's see if I can get him here. Hang on. I'm going to put this on the screen for a second. Let me go find this cat. Rio. Where are you? What am I doing here? I can't find him. I think he's under the bed. Do you want to come for a little snack? Riri, Rio, you got to help us. It's a live stream recap. We can't do it without you. Have I got all the cats in the room running now? Everybody's cats just went, what? All right, we can't waste time playing with him. All right, we waited till 9:30. We got in the cars. We went to Lainey's living room. We got our snacks, our beverages, our 420, our maple syrup, whatever we needed to get us through the night. And then the show began. She started off exceptionally smug, and she was wearing that sweater. She was wearing the "Why are you so obsessed with me" sweater. I'm so sick of this fucking shirt. Good Christ. Now, I wrote, she seems drunk. She swears that she was opening her first, because of course she was going to drink on stream last night. She swears she was opening her first, I want to say, Buzzball. White Claw. She's drinking White Claws. I think she had at least one before she started. She was saucy. You know, what can we say? They ask her immediately if she's single. She says yes. And she also says she's not going to talk about her love life. They ask her, you know, at the beginning, it's just a lot of rapid fire questions for her. I guess her 25 or 30 people, honestly, again, she can talk about 600 members all she wants. She has a consistent number of people showing up in her live stream chat, and it is like 40 people tops. So I think the 600 is largely blown out of, I bet it's 60 at this point. I bet it's 60. And she added a 0. Because there's only 40 people in the chat every single week, tops. We check. And again, yes, there could be 560 members silently watching, not commenting and not chatting. It's possible. Not likely. They start asking her about her crash out from the week before, and she just pretends she had no crash out. What do you mean? Whatever do you mean? Not a crash out? What is a crash out? I don't understand. And nobody said to her, you know, bitch, when you got all sucky because someone said that you were being triggering to them over the cancer. She blew past it. She blew past it. She didn't talk about it at all. And then, of course, she has her 2 people. There's, you know, we're getting to know some of her crowd now. One of them being Window, and there's another named Door, and there's a married couple called the Oranges or Limes or something. I don't know. This user named, just stop with the honking now. This user named Window is, I don't know. It's hard to tell if they're a troll, if they're friend or foe, because they kind of give her a lot of push and pull. So last night, she decided Window was a foe. So she said she was getting really bad vibes from Window. How she gets bad vibes from somebody in it, but anyway. And she really she might have to put them in timeout because she needed to protect her aura. Window was messing with her aura. Okay? Now the chat starts going, Erica. What about Erica? What about that post that Erica made? Did you see the post Erica made? Erica just made about hours. Like, what do you mean? She goes, oh, is Erica big mad? Oh, is Erica big mad about something? I need to know. And then she carries on talking about how Erica's obsessed with her and her wife is obsessed with her. It was pretty, I don't know, maybe she's acting, but for me, it seemed like she had not read the post yet. I don't think she had read the post. Oh, Church Brat did a drive-by. Church Brat did a super chat before they got timed out as well. Yeah, we're getting to know Amber's community now. So she starts talking again about she uses this as a big flex because, you know, Erica was a bitch because Erica was the one that cheated on her wife with Amber. And, you know, like I said before, Amber, that's not the flex you think it is. She's a married woman. You're having an affair with a married woman, right? Now, last night she's completely innocent. She didn't know. She knew nothing about it. It was a complete surprise to her. She didn't know Erica was married. Innocent, sweet, adorable angel Amber, with all of her ethics and morals, would never do something like that. You know, and then she did find out, and I guess that didn't make a difference or something. Then there was this weird little moment where somebody texted her and she picked up the phone and then she blocked somebody from the chat. So somebody texted her and told her to block somebody from the chat, that she was missing their comments, I think. So I don't know who's helping her out in the background or if that's how she works with her mods. My mods do not text my phone and tell me to block somebody while I'm on a live, but maybe that's how she works. I don't know. She says eventually she did know that Erica was married. And she says, okay, I'll admit it. I was a dumb bitch. I shouldn't have done it. I can't find out, but it's okay. Like, it's just dumb. It's dumb. It's so silly. So, check your phone. Yeah, you could. They've all got my WhatsApp, so they could. But my phone is the real cam. She doesn't know. Oh, she says she didn't know what Erica posted. And I don't think she did, because she got a lot madder when she actually read what Erica posted. And she keeps texting, and then she keeps alluding to her lawyer again. Be kind. It says be kind. She says it's Be Kind to Lawyers Day. So you all have to be kind to her lawyer. Okay. I guess. What? I don't know. Erica is pissed off at the screenshots. I wrote down, Erica's pissed off at the screenshots. I'm not exactly sure what that means. There's a lot of honking out there today. She says they broke up June 15th, 2024. Which also, again, brings me back to how the hell would she know about the cat getting out and all that stuff? They broke up months previous to it. People start asking her because, as you remember in Erica's post, she makes a reference to Amber's stepdaddy making inappropriate moves on Dainty Amber. And this is the best part. This is best for me. This was one of the best highlights of the live stream, is when Amber gets very confused. She goes, why is she talking about my mom's finances? Okay, now I know that's bullshit. I know that's not Erica. That's bullshit, because I never talked to her about my mom's finances. The word she was looking for there was fiance. They were talking about your mother's fiance. Finances. Jace, I don't have any water with me here today. I do, unlike Amber's mother, I do realize that coffee is a liquid. The finances. What about stepdad pulls up screenshot? I don't know what that means. I should make better notes so I understand them the next day. I'm trying to write really fast while I'm listening and while I'm reading our chat. I'm not sure what that means. She does admit that Rarity has given her cellulitis in the past. Rarity has given her cellulitis in the past, but not this time. Okay, all right. I'm not sure how that happens. Jace says, Merc, hearing my name in the video the other day really made my day. Just wanted to say a small thanks. Jace, of course. So cute. She says she was never given skin cream, so that's a lie. Like, who cares about that? I don't give a crap about if she got skin cream or not. Then she says she denies the stepdad story. Blush story, too close to... Okay. She just flat out denies anything about the stepdad. But you know what's funny is, and again, this is just pure 100% speculation based on absolutely nothing. But when she was first reading the Erica post, when she got to the part about the stepdad, I feel like her face gave her away somehow. And the gut feeling that I can't seem to shake is that maybe she told Erica all that shit about the stepdad, and it was a lie. Because, you know, she always wants everybody to think how desirable and sexy she is, right? I can totally see her making that up to make Erica think, oh, Amber's so desirable and I'm so jealous. because she's there with him and I'm far away. I don't know. And I'm, again, purely speculation, but her face looked like, oh shit, I've been caught. Micro expression. But that's the feeling I got when I heard her read that. Is like, oops. I believe she told that story, but I believe it wasn't true. That's my speculation. What do you guys think? Some of you seem to agree with me here. Austin says, I thought that too. Bent Tail says, yes. I mean, you know, again, speculation based on nothing. It's no worse than making up stuff about her, but it's just a gut feeling I got. There was a micro moment in her face. Because, and then she follows it up with how jealous Erica was all the time, which also kind of reinforces that story. She tells a story about sending a picture at a grocery store, and Erica got upset because somebody was standing too close to the cart or something. Like, that's how jealous Erica was. Total denial of the stepdad stuff, and that Erica is psychotic. Yeah, they are sadly still here. Says they're both liars. Amber probably lied to Erica, and then Erica probably manipulated things to make it more. Absolutely, that's the best. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. We can't prove that, of course. Purely speculation. She goes on and on and on about Erica's jealousy, and I wrote furious denial. She got really mad. Like, her level of anger at that says to me there was something true in that. Whether we know how much of it was true, I don't know. But she was really on one. Like, she was getting angrier and angrier the more she talked about this. She said she's done with it. Of course, we've heard her say that before. She says it's all the lies that piss her off, not the embarrassing truths. Like, she said Beck said a lot of things about her that were truly embarrassing, and she didn't deny them, which is kind of true. But, you know, you're a liar, so we don't believe you anyway. But then she times out Daft, one of her users, while she sings. Of course, she likes to sing when she times out her paying members. And then she slams her drink down. Like, she puts her drinks down so hard. I bet she's really hard on things, right? Like, remember how mucked up her apartment was when she moved out? I bet she's very rough on things. Like, every time she has a drink, she slams the can down. Like, she was pissed off and said she's over it. Oh, and then she told some weird dental assistant story because she was trying to speak to every point that Erica made in that post. So she went on about this weird dental assistant story where she went to a dentist and they took half of her tooth out, but just left it. And that's why she's got this half a tooth problem now. And it was so weird that even on the way home in the car, Destiny or whoever it was that was with her said, did they only just take half of your tooth out? And she said, yeah. I don't get that story at all. Dentist doesn't take half your tooth and leave a gaping cavity hole. Like, it just doesn't make sense. There's something weird about that dental story, but she had to include it to justify the tooth comment that was made in that post. She said Dakota makes her queasy. People started asking her about Dakota. She said Dakota makes her, I don't know, it just makes me feel, you know, oogie, like queasy. Take it down a notch, girl. She then goes to speak about Libby and says she knows that her behavior with Libby was not appropriate. She said she was 25 and Libby was 15, and it wasn't appropriate, but it wasn't the same as what Dakota was doing. Very unpopular opinion, but I gotta agree with her there. She was not appropriate. She was creepy with Libby, but she wasn't soliciting openly strange young children on the internet. That's like the definition of predatory. I mean, nobody gets a pass here. They're all creeps. It's just levels. Which level of creep, quite frankly? They're all disgusting human beings, really. They're all really amoral, disgusting human beings. They just walk the line of morality, the edges of ethics all the time. It's just gross, man. They're just gross, all of them. Amber says she feels bad for Beck. But then she says she absolutely knows 100% without a question of a doubt, 100% knows that Beck and Dakota are absolutely still together. Absolutely still together. Now, really? Is that real? Someone said, Jack Wonderland says it's Creepo Circus. It's ridiculous. They're all gross. They're just all gross human beings with really no morals or ethics, or they don't have any goals. They don't seem to want to do anything positive and make a... So, yeah, I thought it was pretty shocking that she went out on a limb to say that Beck and Dakota are absolutely still together. But it's not surprising because she always tries to undermine anything Beck says, right? So, and again, they're all pretty crappy human beings. I wouldn't be surprised if Beck and Dakota are still together. I don't think they are, but it wouldn't surprise me. These people are all nuts. Oh, and the reason she knows, because she says, do you remember when she was talking about suing and she said she had something illegal on Beck, but she wouldn't say what it was? And then eventually she kind of let out, because she can't keep her mouth shut, and she let out that it was a name, but it was a 4-word name, but it's nobody we know. Something like that. So she made reference to that again as proof as to why she knows that Beck and Dakota are still together. Because remember that name? Remember the 4-letter name? Whatever the hell that means. I don't know. And then she continues to slag off Dakota for a while, and then it's ceiling time. Ba 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 ba. Then it's ceiling time. Da da da. Her phone is popping off like crazy. I don't know why she keeps the notifications turned on during the live stream. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but, whatever. Her phone's popping off like crazy. So I don't know who's texting her, and she's texting back, but somebody. She talks about being punched in the face again. That came up a while ago. So she's talking about that again. I guess that's to try and garner some sympathy. Oh, yeah, I was just punched in the face every day. Okay, Amber was punched in the face. She talks about being hot from drinking. Oh, yeah, because oh, my God, I don't understand why I'm so hot. Oh, yeah, I'm drinking. Every single time she has a drink. And somebody asks her, didn't Feline lay you out like a turtle on your back? And she cracks up and says, no, not quite. Now, this girl isn't stupid. She knows exactly what she's saying. By saying not quite is certainly implying that Feline hit her. Right? Isn't that what you take away from that? That's what I took away from that. I thought, oh, God, is she going to start making little comments now about Feline? Because I'd love to see Feline come back. I'd love to see Feline come back. Wouldn't you? That's the expose I want to see. Feline. For sure. I don't even care about Emily. It's Feline. I'd love to hear about Feline's story. Baby Vamp says, what I take is that Amber threw the first punch. Yeah, it could be. I mean, Amber could have started it all. Didn't Feline lay you out like a turtle on its back? Says to me that didn't Feline hit you hard enough that you ended up... But again, we'll never know. And she does drops these little vague little... what are they called in a program? Easter eggs. She drops little Easter eggs, right? Erica and Britt stories. This is the best part of my notes. It says Erica and Britt stories. Vibrator. Samesies. And then my notes just descend into this. If you can't read it, it says, oh God, no, no, no. Pink vibrator talk. No. No. So let's just move past that. Let's just leave it to that there was a lot of sex talk. A lot of sex talk. Oh, God, Beck. I forgot about that. Did I make a note about that? Yeah, I did. It's coming up. We don't have to talk about it yet. So there was a lot of inappropriate sex talk. She talked about the fact that they have the same kind of vibrator. She talked about how she can reach things, and you know, you can fill in the blanks, or you can go to another reaction channel where sometimes they like to cover her sexuality more in depth than we do here. She's hammered, I wrote. She's hammered. She says she's a lightweight. Oh, yeah. She said she's a lightweight due to her calcium deficiency. That's why she gets drunk easily, because she's calcium deficient. Okay. And then she cracks open another. I wrote Buzzball, but clearly it was a White Claw. And then she giggles and asks, am I the fattest in the room? Oh my God, am I the fattest one here? Well, let's hope so. Frankly, let's hope so. And she says the only time she ever felt comfortable was when she went to the seminars at the weight loss clinic, because the room was full of bodies the same size as hers. So she didn't feel out of place. Now, I get that. I totally get that. That makes sense. Nothing wrong with that. And then she says, then she goes on a little TED talk about that really it's the fat girls that are gorgeous. Gorge. Like, seriously, fat girls are gorge. She's entitled to absolutely have that choice and taste. That's fine. And then she goes on, because she realizes she's going to get in trouble for that, because, you know, you can't say anything these days. And then she goes on a big thing about, but so are thin girls and thin people and disabled people and rats and every fish and every amphibian and every snake. Like, she just goes on and on. So apparently every creature that breathes is gorge to Amber, you know, because she's so equitable to everybody. Jackson. Jackson. I'm not saying that out loud. I will, however, display it on the screen. Oh, the lip smacking. I wrote exaggerated lip smacking. There was a lot of that. What do I think is gorgeous? There was a lot of that over and over and over again. It was bad. And then it was break time again. I guess we got to see the ceiling. She kept talking about Twinkie wanting to get up on the couch. Now, every time Twinkie wanted to get up on the couch, she had to take a big break, mute the audio, point the camera up at the ceiling, and then she'd be gone for like 2 or 3 minutes. And I was wondering, is she in the state that I would imagine getting up off a couch isn't the smoothest, easiest move for her? I don't get that Amber's probably like bouncing off the couch to go do things. I think that she had to take a literal break to just go bend over and pick up the dog. I think that's what a lot of the breaks were about. Also, no pants, Lynn, of course, Winter Blossom. She doesn't wear pants, but I think she can't bend for it. Like, if she's sitting on the couch and the dog is on the floor, I don't think she can bend down to pick up that dog. I think she has to stand up and then bend at the waist and pick up the dog. But whatever. It was weird. She was taking, you know, nitpicking, as we do. Duck lips. Oh, a lot of duck lips at this point, because she was getting more drunk, right? So we're getting a lot of duck lips, and she's talking about how she's hot due to the elk. Oh, yeah, I'm hot because of the elk. The elk. Let's go to Starbs. After we drink elk, let's go to Starbs. Get a cap. She gets back on the phone for a while, and then she starts calling herself Daddy Lynn. And she says sometimes she likes to be daddy. And then she starts singing Time Out, so you know somebody's getting the boot. I think it's time to do a timeout. And then she times out some paid member. Then she gets stopped dismissing her. She doesn't like to be dismissed because I think some people were disagreeing with something she was talking about, and she doesn't like that. You don't disagree with the queen, okay? You don't. It's called, when you disagree with her, that's dismissing her. Unlike this chat, she's not open to differing opinions and ideas and contrasting thoughts. That is not welcome here. This is a vacuum, Amber's chat. You're only allowed to talk nicely to the queen about how pretty the queen is. That's it. Somebody asks her what's her favorite nickname for an ex-partner, and she giggles and giggles and giggles and says Necky. Not because of what you think. It's not fatphobic. It's not what that is. It's just something else. It's Necky. And then she gets very happy and gives herself a big fucking award because she didn't order DoorDash today. Big shelf ass pats for that. Daddy. Can't say the craziest place for... Oh. Back to the sex talk. Somebody asked her where's the craziest place she ever had sex. And she just, she giggles and blushes and, oh my God, no, she can't. Oh, she can't. She can't tell you, oh my God, no. Oh, no, no, I can't. Amber, you can't get off the couch. You really probably haven't had sex in that many exciting random places. Let's just say that. Then she makes a comment about how she's prettier than Dakota. Of course she is, because she's so pretty, you guys. She's so pretty. Somebody asks her why she won't stop saying ad nauseum. Ad nauseum is one of her new terms. And then she goes on to Amber-splain what ad nauseum means. Literally. Tries to explain the meaning of the word ad nauseum rather than explaining why she uses it all the fucking time inappropriately in the wrong places. God, she's really dumb. She does say, she kind of laughs and says you can ask her anything now because she's got literally nothing left to hide, which is kind of true. And you guys, I said it a couple weeks ago. Once all these exes are done spilling all the shit, there's nothing left to spill. All her shit is out. I think she should feel a little bit of freedom over this because there's nothing left to hide. If there is, there's certainly not the volume of things that there was to hide 2 years ago. Like, it's weird. She says she's multifaceted. Then she says YouTube is very liberating for her. Someone was asking maybe it's not good for her mentals to be on YouTube, and she talks about how liberating it actually is for her. No, then it's tear time. Now, I will say she didn't cry for too long. She caught herself, but she was just feeling, it's just so sad. My whole life, it's so sad. Everything has been so unfair to me. But she reeled that in pretty quickly. And then it was time for another ceiling break. Now, she didn't take her 1 hour intermission like she used to, but... then she comes back to do a bunch of boring TV chat. I wrote Love is Blind chat, Big Brother chat. And then she says Blake Lively is giving daddy. Because she goes on about that stuff. And I wrote TV talk, because that's what she has no life. And she's uploading 5 times a week. She's got nothing to say to anybody that we haven't already seen in her stupid little videos. Because that's the high points of her life, is in those videos. So by the time she gets around to the Tuesday night live stream, she's literally got nothing left to tell anybody or talk about, because it's all been done already. I think she's shooting herself in the foot doing 5 days of uploads a week because she literally doesn't have enough content to fill 5 days of uploads a week. But that's my theory. Oh God, here we go. I'm going to try not to elaborate on some of these things that I've written down. I'm just here to recap for you, okay? I wrote down all of her exes said her bush is dainty. It's not my fault. I didn't say it. I just wrote it down, okay? Don't come for me. All of Excuse me. I can't even do it. Somebody asks her about the now it's very chaotic. This live stream at this point is just all over the place. Okay, she's not really talking about any one thing. She's just reading stuff from the chat. Somebody asked her about the ghost in the hall story. I guess there was a moment in 2019 where Beck was bringing in a bunch of groceries and asked Amber to get up and help bring in the groceries. And Amber refused because she was too scared, because she said she saw a ghost in the hall. As we well know, Amber doesn't believe in ghosts, and Beck does. So Amber told Beck there was a ghost in the hall and she couldn't get up and help. So last night she admitted to that she was just simply too fucking lazy. I was just too lazy. I didn't want to get up. I was on a mattress in the middle of the living room. It was 2019. I wasn't going to get up. So I told Beck there was a ghost. Okay, nice lying to your fucking partner. Sure, 90% of the food Beck was bringing in was for her anyway. I mean Amber, not Beck. Like, she just thinks it's adorable and cute. Like, she giggled through the whole thing. I thought, you horrible manipulative con artist. Like, being lazy, I get, okay, I get it. But then even the thought to put into it, to lie, like to say it's a ghost when you know that Beck believes in ghosts, like just to try and help really get her sucked into the lie. It's just such manipulation just to be lazy. Imagine what she does when she really wants something. Oh, and then there's a bunch of I just wrote drunk chat. She's just rambling on about shit. She talked about lucid dreaming and, how she likes it when it happens to her. I don't know. The whole point of lucid dreaming is creating the dream. Like, you do control that, but I think. But anyway, I don't know. She was drunk. She's talking about all that shit. Oh, she got really pissed at Window, one of her big supporters, because she started talking about her April Fool's joke. And all Window said was, I'm not going to lie, that was a hard watch. That's what Window said. Amber got real pissed off. Amber got real pissed off at that. She was going to time Window out. She was not happy. Not fucking happy. I thought, God, all she said was it was a hard watch. It was stupid, Amber. It was a bad joke. I'm telling you guys, if you don't already do it, nobody's as bad as her, but your life is so much easier if you can just stand back and go, you know what, guys? I'm sorry. I fucked up. It's just so much easier to, than the circus, the acrobatics that go about keeping all these stupid lies. Says Hide is, people ask her how she fills in her time. And she talks about, now that she's got this YouTube schedule, it's very much like a real job. She's very structured every day to, I don't know, film 12 minutes. I don't know. She says her day is made up of cleaning rounds, editing, filming, taking Twinkie for walks, and television programs. That's how Amber fills up her day. So really, when you think about it, cleaning rounds, probably a lie. We've seen your apartment, Amber. It's not that clean. Editing and filming, if she does half an hour a day, I'd be surprised. Twinkie walks, okay. And then other than that, it's just watching TV and YouTube. So that's what her days consist of. Literally nothing. All right, we're getting in there. Last page. People start talking about different relatives they have that were on reality TV. Did I miss the horrible conversation? Did I miss a page? Hang on. There's a horrible conversation that I've missed. I don't know what cleaning rounds are. Well, she said she makes a game out of cleaning. So she'll do 3 minutes and take a break and do, I think that's what she means, but I don't know. Isn't that interesting? I saw it, and now I can't see where it was written down. Oh, here it is. How did I miss that? All right, because we have to say it. If I had to see it and I had to write it down, then you have to hear about it. Somebody asked her if she squirts. Amber said she has dainty squirts because she has a dainty bush. There you go. That's all I'm going to say. I hope you're okay, because we're not. Wait for that. Just let that sit in. Just let that marinate for a minute while the helicopter goes by. just read the chat. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say anymore. I just said that. That's all I'm saying. She's dainty. That's just a little baby. It was just a little baby. People start talking to her about different relatives they have that have appeared on reality television shows. She's quite impressed by this because, it starts off because somebody said that relative that they have was on Yellow Jackets, and she's quite excited because she loves Yellow Jackets. And then people start dropping stuff in the chat about people they have known on reality television, and then after a few people say it, she goes, "Oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, I had a relative. I have a relative that was on Survivor." So then she spends a good 10, 15 minutes, I don't know, looking up this person who she said is her aunt's ex-husband's sister. Okay, you got that? Her aunt's ex-husband's sister apparently was on Survivor. And, she spends 10 minutes looking for this woman, finds the woman, pulls up the woman, shows everybody her picture and her name. Fair enough. She's on a television show. That's not doxing. Interesting that somebody that's on a public television show isn't being doxed by having their name read out publicly, Amber. Then there's a lot of chat about Petaluma, because I guess that's where she's from, or was in California, in Petaluma. And she talks a great deal about how she misses Petaluma. She's such a Cali girl. And she goes on and on about Winona Ryder having attended the same school as she did, so they're besties. Because 3 years before Amber entered the school, she was there, so that means they're like best friends now. She also mentions she really misses Petaluma and goes on and on and on quite a bit about a Target store. When she talks about all the things she misses about Petaluma, she mentions just one retail store. Petaluma? Isn't that what it is? Now, Snork is mocking me for Petaluma. Is that not the name of the city? Oh my God. Winona Ryder's 53? Okay, Petaluma. Yeah, so she mentions mostly about all the retail stores she misses from there. And I thought that's odd. She doesn't miss any people, friends, any special places aside from Target. Okay. I can see why you really miss Cali. Then she talks about how she was just always visiting San Francisco. Always. She's just always flitting in and out of San Francisco when she was in Petaluma. So, I wish they all could be California. People ask her about all the jobs, and she's, oh my God, I've had so many jobs, you guys. Listen, then she goes, first of all, I was at the Boys and Girls Club. And then I sold Cutco knives. Then she had her government job, and then she worked at the care home with Destiny. She has had so many positions of authority in her short life. She sold Cutco knives. Isn't that door to door? Isn't that a door to door thing? Like, didn't Janelle do that on Teen Mom or something? We watched Teen Mom before the live stream. Jack says, I miss Atlanta for the cool weather. I miss Chicago for the pizza. I miss Texas for the Southern culture. I miss Louisiana for the Mardi Gras. Are you sure you don't miss the Targets? What about the Walmarts? There's Walmarts in all of those cities, Jack. You don't know what you're missing. Deneen CPLC says direct sales. I don't imagine she sold a single knife. Like an Avon lady. Like door to door, right? Oh, okay. Avon isn't necessarily door to door. And I swear to God, I have never heard her mention Cutco knife sales before. Have you? Have you guys ever heard her mention that before? Yeah? I never heard it. It was door to, yep, it was door to door. MLM, door to door. I don't remember hearing her ever mention that before. Also, can you imagine Amber doing a door to door job with all that walking? She's not doing that. Snark says she's talked about it a few times. Okay, I guess I missed it. Look at this username. Odd and queer, but not peculiar. That's a fantastic username. Okay, and then there's this section here. I've written down Oracle cards. Please kill me now. I take no notes during the Oracle card reading. I just wrote, just kill me. I can't make notes about that. So, again, if you need to find out about the Oracle cards section, you're going to have to go to a different reaction channel because I don't give a shit about those fucking Oracle cards. Ridiculous. After she finishes the Oracle card reading, she starts giggling about how good she is. Is there boring cards? Beck, you know what I did last night while we were watching the live stream? I actually did a quick search for rude or inappropriate Oracle cards because I thought if there was a some kind of really saucy or rude deck, I would buy them and then we could do them, but there wasn't, so I didn't. And some of them were like $45, and I'm not spending that on a joke. I don't make Amber money. I don't have 600 members. After the Oracle card, she's very happy with herself because she says she is so good at this. Now, I think she was being sarcastic, but, maybe not. Then she goes into a big, long conversation about 90 Day Fiancé, where she pulls out a fucking document where she has listed every season of every franchise of 90 Day Fiancé that she's watched and where she's at. Okay, well, you see, 90 Day the other way, I've only done 6 seasons, but 90 Day on the Island, I've done 10 seasons. 90 Day, she literally has a fucking document to list what TV shows she's watched. This is a sad, lonely fucking girl that's got nothing to do. That's weird, right? Listing the seasons? My God, I stream for people every night in the Discord. I don't write that shit down. That's sad. That's time-filling activities, that is. Sad. Oh, and then she goes on because she goes on something, I don't know, I was starting to tune out, but she's talking about 90 Day Fiancé, and I guess when they meet, how they don't want to fuck each other in the airport or something, and she didn't understand how they could not be not passionate after not seeing each other for so long. And then she finishes that diatribe with, she's just so much more sexual than anybody that's ever been on 90 Day Fiancé. I guess that's it. She's just too sexual. Heather, thank you for the super chat. Heather says, my husband with BPD has had more jobs in 1 year than ALR has had in her whole lifetime. Off to work, late again. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you, Heather. Take care of the shorties. Yeah, I've had millions of jobs too. I worked in restaurants. I've had hundreds of jobs. Yeah, she's more sexual than anybody that's ever been on 90 Day Fiancé. And then she finishes off with reminding us about her YouTube schedule, and she goes into the plan of the agenda. Time to discuss the plan of the agenda. And that brings to a close the recap of the AMBERLYNN REID members only live stream from last night. It's always something. I'll give her that. Like, if it was just literally 2 hours of her just answering questions, I'd pull my hair out one by one. But at least she always has some kind of little breakdown or some kind of little narc fit, or, you know, this time it was in the first hour rather than the last hour, but, you know, at least she gave us something, I guess. People pay $10 for that? You pay $10, but if you say anything she doesn't like, she's going to time you out. So you literally just have to sit there, and kiss her ass in order to stay a member after you've paid for your membership. That doesn't seem right. Yes, unfortunately, Rio is hiding. I assume he's under the bed. He will not come out. He's being a dick. He's a cat. What can we say? All right. Now, God, this just never ends today, does it? How long do you think she'll keep doing these live streams? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she's going to keep the schedule up much longer. Like I was saying, she does so very little, really, does so little in her life. Filming 5 days a week has got to be a strain for her, because she doesn't have that much content to film 5 days a week when one of those days is a 30-minute vlog. I don't think she's going to be able to keep this up for much longer. Oh, Rachel, I'm sorry you had some bad news. Our thoughts go out to you and your family for sure. Don't forget the Pullman. Here we go. Let's end this poll. You guys seem to think about half of it was real. How come it won't come up? Where is it? That's so weird. I can't see the poll. Am I blind? Oh, there it is. Just took a second. Our results for the Pullman are 50-50 is the winner. So 57% of you think there's some truth to that post. 23% of you think it's 100% true, and 20% of you think it's 100% load of crap. So that tells us nothing. That tells us nothing. All right. The final thing we have on the agenda for today I don't have pulled up because I had so many tabs. Oh, I do. Oh, God, we didn't even watch the Beck video, too. We've got the Beck video, too. You know, I don't think we need to watch the Beck video today. Maybe we can watch it on Saturday if we want, but there's just too much to cover today. Beck released a video today at around noon, 1 o'clock, something like that, called Taking Responsibility for My Past. And in it, Beck basically went through one by one all of the mistakes that this community has talked about that they've made. And Beck stood up and took unabashed responsibility for things that they've done wrong, things that they've reacted to wrong, things that they've said that have insulted people. They did not, in this particular video, address anything about Dakota. But they hit a lot of points. And I got to tell you, again, I'm not, I don't need to canonize Beck to acknowledge, quite frankly, the courage and honesty it takes to be that accountable and responsible. I mean, I'm telling you, I wouldn't want to have to stand up and publicly take accountability for every fucking mistake I've made in the last 10 years. That's not easy for anybody to do. And I think they did it with grace and aplomb, and I applaud them for, again, handling one of those situations really well. I hope they've truly distanced themselves from the people on YouTube that they were getting tied up with, because they're better than those people. and they don't need those people. So, you know, congratulations, Beck, to taking the high road in a place where people like to fucking swim in the swamp. So that's, you can watch, I encourage you to go watch Beck's video if you'd like to see a master class on taking accountability for your mistakes. Because in my opinion, that's what that was. Now, as far as the rest of the stuff about Beck, again, they're a fallible human being just like you and I'm not going to canonize them. But this they do exceptionally well, and most people don't. So you got to give them hella props for that, in my opinion. So what we're going to watch now to close out the day is we're going to now, like we haven't had enough Amber. It's a shorty, so it's a good one to just kind of finish off with. We're going to watch Amber's latest video that she uploaded today at 1 o'clock, and of course it's Weigh-In Wednesday. So we get to weigh in because it's Wednesday. Thankfully, it's only 9 minutes long. And as usual, we can speed her up. Let me just drop this quality and increase this speed a little bit. And share this tab instead and add, I'd like you to welcome to the stage the incomparable Miss AMBERLYNN Reid. Thank you, Mr. Snork. All right. Amber's Weigh-In Wednesday is called I Need to Make Something Very Clear. Weigh-In, episode number 3. Guys, I'm going to say, Rachel, I'm very, very sorry. I realize that you're going through a very hard time. Can we close that conversation? Not for any lack of compassion, but I would love it if you can maybe take a breath and use this as a space to just maybe relax a little bit, you know, and have a giggle. Let's just try and have a giggle. I'm very sorry for what you're going through. It's very difficult, and everybody here wishes you nothing but the best, right? But let's try and take a breath and watch this idiot. Okay? So I need to make something very clear. Weigh-In episode number 3.
Number 3 to be exact. Today is April 8th on a Tuesday. So in the beginning of my weigh-in videos, I answered 5 questions that you guys have asked me on Instagram. So let's get into it. Did you come up with the food for thought questions that you ask yourself at the end of your weigh-in?
Also, remember, she's already sped up. So she's not frantic. She's sped up.
What I ate today videos? Yes, I did. I really love doing stuff like that. Like, my dream still is to come out with a guided journal. I think that would be so freaking awesome. I love to not only answer questions, but I love to ask them as well. Why don't you count the food that you have out as ordering takeout? Because this specific goal was about my relationship with...
This is really... Okay, this is funny. This might be worth the whole damn video this year, this justification going on right here.
Ordering takeout food. It has honestly been a very, very, very bad habit that I have dealt with every day for years. I have relied on it for convenience, out of boredom, just because I wanted to. I was too lazy to cook. And these are all the things that I am trying to actively work on. I'm going to have a meal with my mom at bingo, or if we go out to eat, I would...
That's takeout, Amber. That's takeout. Rachel, please do not be sorry. Do not be sorry at all. We got you. Don't be sorry, girl. You're fine.
Would still, for my other meal, come home and order takeout. Like,
yeah, but you're still having fried chicken wings and French fries and everything beige and deep fried and fully salted and covered in grease. It's takeout food, Amber.
Uber has just been like one of my worst habits. Like, truly one of my very worst habits. So this goal was for me to improve in that. Going out and having a meal at bingo or having a meal wherever with my mom, that's about like connection and spending time. While Uber was definitely not about that. Uber was about convenience and the fact that I'm lazy and the fact that I'm addicted to ordering takeout from my...
You're still lazy and addicted to takeout food by eating that at the bingo. Bring a sandwich from home. I'm sure you can take 20 of the bingo daubers out and only bring 20 daubers and make room for a sandwich in your bag.
app, having it delivered to my home. The problem I'm actively targeting is stopping that, or at least lessening it drastically. I'm not going to sit here and take away having a meal with my mom at bingo, because that's not the issue. That's not what's going to.
That is the issue. You're mincing words. And here's something interesting somebody brought up, and I can't take responsibility for this, but as soon as they did, I was like, holy shit, they're right. How long is she leaving Twinkie alone? She said she goes to bingo for 7 hours at a stretch. Who the fuck is walking that dog? Because as far as I know, dogs don't really do well spending 7-8 hours alone. So she's going to bingo for 7-8 hours at a stretch. Who's taking care of the dog, Amber?
To make me gain weight. That's not what's causing laziness, and it's never out of boredom. I'm not trying to overhaul everything in my whole life and just wake up overnight and be like,
You need to overhaul everything in your whole life, though, to get better.
I cannot even eat out. I cannot eat with my mom at bingo. Nope, not allowed. So my goal was to pick something that is like drastically making it to where I don't reach my goals at all. And that is what I'm targeting, like mentally and emotionally. Ordering takeout from my Uber Eats and having it delivered to me daily for years and years, sometimes twice a day, is very unhealthy. That is what is ultimately.
Snork, you're right. Mr. Snork reminds us, to be fair, if she was at work, she wouldn't be able to walk the dog either. But 7 hours of bingo is hectic. You made me say hectic. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, yeah, working people have a hard time, but I seem to remember working with waitresses that would be rushing home on their breaks to take their dogs out, or they'd have people drop by. Like, I don't know. I guess, you make arrangements. People have to work. I get that for sure. But she doesn't have to.
Holding me back the most. Will you start a GoFundMe for us?
Kate says Merc said a bad word. Kate, I say many, many bad words.
Supporters to help you go to inpatient? Absolutely not. I would never in my life start a GoFundMe.
Oh God, I should hope not.
Multiple reasons for that, but the biggest one is like, I don't want other people to use their money for something that I should be saving for myself. If you want to donate to someone, donate to a cause or a person that actually genuinely needs that money.
Don't try and make this like you're some fucking savior. Just stop it.
How do you feel about fat jokes? So I make a lot of fat jokes about myself. I don't know if you guys know that about me, but I do. And that is something I've always done. I've had a couple people in my life who didn't like it. They didn't like hearing me do it. They thought I was being rude to myself. I've had cancer. So if I want to make a uterine cancer joke, I'm allowed to do it because I suffered through it. Or if I want to make a foster care joke, or just anything that is like something that happened to me or is me, I feel like I'm allowed to do that. But if I see like a skinny person make a fat joke, or if I hear someone who's never had cancer make a cancer joke, it's like, bro, you don't have the right to do that. So that I don't think.
Yeah, well, you make a lot of jokes and you talk about people in a lot of mocking tones, and bro, then you don't have the right to do that.
Is okay. Why did you say no to having an ice cream cone with your mom if you allow yourself to eat those things anyway? Because I hadn't even ate that day. So I know if I had an ice cream cone as my first meal, then that was going to spiral my whole day. It's about the headspace that I go into eating a certain thing. Like, yes, I will allow myself to have an ice cream cone, but definitely.
Is an ice cream cone actually a meal? As far as I know, an ice cream cone is not actually considered a meal, therefore would not be the first meal of the day.
Probably not as my first meal. Twinkie keeps moving. I'm sure you guys have noticed, like she has gone from behind me to this side to everywhere. So don't mind that. Sorry. This is her world. I simply just live in it. Okay. All right.
My dog walked from one cushion to the other.
So let's talk about the 4 goals that I had this week. So the first one was only order takeout 3 times a week, drink 2 water bottles a day, log all of my calories on Noom, even if I go over, and do intermittent fasting where I can only allow to eat in an 8-hour window and I don't get to eat for 16 hours. So as for ordering takeout 3 times a week, I ordered sushi on Thursday and I also ordered sushi on Sunday. And that is the only 2 times that I ordered takeout.
Oh my God,
so 2 times winning. What? So I was successful in that goal. Drink 2 water bottles. Yes, I did it. I did it every single day. And it's
this move. She does it always at the beginning of the videos too, where she's really like she's so cute. Hi. Look, she did it there. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
On Sunday, and that is the only 2 times that I ordered takeout. So it was 2 times this week. What? So I was successful in that goal. Drink 2 water bottles. Yes, I did it. I did it every single day, and it's literally becoming such a habit for me. I do not allow myself to drink anything until I have drank those 2 water bottles. Wow,
what an accomplishment.
Habit. I don't even think I need it.
Wow. What an amazing accomplishment, Amber. You drank 16 ounces of water a day. You are like some kind of supernova.
To be a goal anymore. As for logging all my calories on Noom, no matter what, did I do that? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And one of those days, oh God, I hated it. And what I hated even more was stepping on the scale the next day. It was not pretty, I'll tell you that. And did I do intermittent fasting? No, I didn't.
Intermittent.
Day one, I realized I am forcing myself.
I thought it was intermittent. Now it's intermittent fasting. She didn't do the intermittent. It's like the other one that's everybody's new hatred buzzword that she says all the time. Disassociating instead of dissociating.
To eat when I'm not hungry, but then I'm not allowed to eat when I am. I can't do that. Like, so that's the only goal I was unsuccessful on. I am not going to force myself to eat when I'm not hungry. I just am not going.
So the only goal she was not successful on was a goal that clearly was dumb anyway. Look at how can she do that? It doesn't even make any sense. So for her to not reach that goal, well, that's a goal. That's reaching the goal because the goal was nonsense anyway.
So I didn't do IF and I never will. All right. So now let's talk about how my week went. It actually went pretty freaking good, especially the beginning, but I'm realizing that the weekends are a lot harder for me. So I stayed below my calories 6 days out of the 7 days that I was supposed to. I genuinely don't know what happened, but Sunday I ate so much. I genuinely just like could not get satisfied. I could not get full. And even though I overate drastically, I still logged.
You know, you don't have to get full. That might be one of your problems right there. You do not have to eat until you feel full. You can just eat a portion, and that's okay.
Every single calorie. And when I stepped on the scale the next day, I was up 5 pounds, fully aware it's not real weight.
In one night.
It's a lot of water weight. It's a lot of sodium. It's a lot of fluid. I'm fully aware of that, just in the same way of like, I was.
This woman has never gained an ounce of fat in her fucking life, okay? I have never ever heard her talk about a dramatic gain without always saying it's water. Quite frankly, she's pretty much like a water balloon. I bet you if you poked her with a needle, just water would squirt out of her because she has not literally gained a single ounce of fat in the last 10 years. She's just water. That's why she feels, you know what? That's why she feels connected with the universe. Because she's just like with the tides, because she's all water.
Losing like 2 pounds a day almost in the beginning of this week, or this last week that just happened. And that's also a lot of water weight. Like that's just what happens. Like your body crazy fluctuates when you start a diet or you overeat. Like it's just what your body does. So it was a lot of like hectacana on the scale. Like it was so good.
Shut up.
And then that one day of overeating as drastically as I did and all that like sodium and water weight that I gained, I was not happy with myself. So something I noticed about Noom, since they want you to weigh yourself.
D Castle, nice to see you. It's been a while. I noticed you the other day, but I know you haven't been around. D says, oh, but it would be a dainty score from her dainty bush. Come on.
Daily. Like if you lose a good amount of weight, like it literally changes the calories every single day. So I noticed every pound I would lose, it would like lower my calories by like 5 or 10, which I kind of like that. Anyways, let's get into my weigh-in. So last week I was 523.
Every time she loses, it lowers her goal calories by 5. 5 calories. Amber, what the fuck? What even is 5 calories? Nothing is 5 calories.
3.8. And today I was, oh my God, do we have an earthquake? 518.0. And that's amazing. But I'm just over here thinking, how much more amazing would it have been if I wouldn't have overate?
518 pounds is amazing. It's amazing. It's 518. Amazing. Yay. Quarter ton human being.
That one day. So that means I'm down 5.8 pounds this week, pretty much 6, not gonna lie. I'm very proud of that because I'm not doing anything super drastic. It is hard though, like counting every single calorie that goes into my mouth. Like it's annoying. I hate it. It's frustrating. But it's like, to stay within that calorie limit, I definitely need to continue doing that. So Noom does give me like 2,600 calories or 3,400 calories.
Mimi says she weighs 400 pounds more than you. You know what? I think I weigh 125. So she weighs like almost 400 pounds more than I do. And we're the same height.
We stayed below 2,600. So I want to make that very clear. Besides the one day I overate, I literally had 4,000 calories. Yes, I did. So it was a really good weigh-in. I know it's a lot of water weight,
There's no fucking way that you only ate 4,000 calories and gained 5 pounds overnight. People have done the fucking math. Amber has to eat about 3,500 calories a day to maintain her weight. So there's no way that an extra 500 calories added 5 pounds to her overnight. So she must have eaten like 8,000 calories that day. Easily. Let's be real.
I know I just need to stay on track, and I know I'm not going to be perfect. I'm probably going to have another day where I fuck up this week. This is genuinely not about perfection. And I just realized I forgot to say goals for this coming week.
Okay, so you know what she's done here is she's realized that she can eat like a goddamn army platoon for 1 day a week and still lose 5 pounds overall for the week. So she feels like she's got a little out. You watch how this manifests itself in the next week.
I totally skipped that part, didn't I? So my goals for this week is order takeout 3 times a week, just 3 times. And when I say order takeout, I mean,
why not 2? You did it twice this week. You claimed that this week you only ordered it twice. So why don't you make that your new goal? Since you know you can already do it, should be easy.
From my Uber to deliver to my home, because that is where I have an issue. The weekends are hard for me because I don't have structure. I have started this whole YouTube routine thing where it's very hyper focused throughout the week because I want that normal schedule.
12 minutes a day of filming. She's hyper focused during the week on her YouTube channel, guys.
I want like a routine, and on the weekends everything is more up in the air. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know this and that. I don't have like anything planned, but that kind of goes into my next goal. I really want to have a successful weekend, what I consider successful, more successful than that Sunday that I just had. I feel like this weigh-in video was literally all over the place. I'm sorry about that. My brain is kind of all over the place today.
Well, you're not going to have any more successful weigh-ins because you've just realized that you can eat everything you want for a whole day and gain 5 pounds in one single day with the amount of gluttony and still overall lose weight for the week. So you're done.
I do hope that you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
She's never going to lose any weight. Big ding dong. She's never going to lose any weight. Never. The talking with the hands is so... What do you mean? It's performative. I'm done. That's it. I don't understand what you mean that it's performative. She's so annoying. She's so annoying. Annoying. Well, that's more Amber than I ever want to do in a day again. That was a whole bunch of Amber, and we barely covered the Beck thing. I don't know what to tell you. I think tonight we should just watch Naked and Afraid because I don't know what the hell else to watch. The bingo food was disgusting. She's never going to lose any weight. She keeps talking about her sexuality. It's just a lot. It's a lot of Amber for one day. Oh, God. Well, leave me your thoughts in the comments section about any of these delicious topics that we've covered today. I'd like to apologize for Mr. Man's absence because he's an asshole. Sorry. He just is. I'll force him to come back. When I do another video, I'm going to force him to be in it whether he wants to or not. If I have to put the damn reel cam under the bed, then that's where the reel cam is going because this nonsense has got to stop. Kate, thank you for 1 year. Happy 1 year. Missed you guys, Merc and Rio. Hey, Kate, nice to see you. Happy 1 year. Bent Tail says, simply Sarah passed away recently. She was only 45. This is what Amber has to look forward to. I did hear about that. You know, Amber could live another 10, 20 years. Let's be real. She could. Hungry Fat Chick is still around, and she's in her 50s. And I would argue she's probably in worse physical shape than Amber. But, you know, stranger things. She could have a heart. Amber could have a stroke tonight, or Amber could live 20 years. We can't tell how long she's going to live. We can't. She seems to be made of fucking Teflon, so who knows? Anyway, I'm hungry now. I'm going to eat what I didn't finish eating before the live stream. I had some bun. You know bun? I got bun, which is rice noodles and chicken. Yeah, it's a little carby, but, you know, what are you going to do? Hungry Fat Chick weighs less than Amber? Does she? She's so likable, though, Hungry Fat Chick. My heart breaks for that girl, I tell you. Okay, I'm going to go. You guys go. Let's all go. Let's all go, go, go. I'll see some of you in the Discord, and I'll see some of you on the next video. Today's Wednesday, so I don't know. Maybe Friday redundancy report. Does that sound good? I think so. We'll do a redundancy report, and I'll see you at the live stream on Saturday. You know the routine until we meet again. Just be kind. And hasta luego. Bye.